Okay, thank you, Elisaveta. So, hello everyone. My name is Kenan Mahmutovie from the Control Organization from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Welcome to the webinar on the topic of marketing strategies with the emphasis on tourism, which is organized by two organizations, Control and Arts and Skills within the co-host project, and more specifically within capacity building and training activities of the project. Our presenter today is Professor Kenan Mahmutovie. Professor Mahmutovie is professor at the Department of Marketing at the Faculty of Economics of University of Bihać. He teaches courses in principles of marketing, marketing management, research and communication, and digital marketing, as well as digital marketing in tourism. Professor is also the author of two university textbooks, Marketing Communication Mix and Digital Marketing Strategies, Tools, and Tactics. Professor also wrote numerous scientific papers in the areas of marketing, marketing in tourism, and digital marketing. I believe also present today is Professor Americo Silva, who will be presenting on the topic of sustainable tourism, but at the second webinar. So if you agree, I would like to invite Professor Mahmutovie now to start with the webinar part.
Okay, I hope you can hear me well. Can you just confirm me that you can see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thanks, Jalila, for this short introduction of myself. It is really my pleasure to be today with you and to be able to share some of my thoughts and ideas on this subject and on emerging trends in tourism industry, and how to explain how I see that these trends influence the marketing strategies of companies who are operating in this sector. And one of the goals of today's lecture is to propose some current topics that I see that are really current, that could be included in EUVET programs, plans and programs in the field of tourism and the marketing. So I planned my lectures today in three interconnected parts. Since we are discussing the marketing strategies, I would first like to define, to use maybe unconventional way of introduction, and to define what a marketing-oriented tourism company is, what it means when we say that some company is marketing-oriented, so that we can understand better the characteristics of such companies and to be able to consider how to improve them by taking into account the new trends in this industry. And after this brief introduction, I will analyze statistical data on the global tourism market, as well some data about the consumer behavior, to see is there any shift in consumer behavior and what are the most important trends present in the market. And finally, I will try to explain how I see that these trends can influence the creation of marketing strategies. And also at the end, I will try to suggest some topics, as I said, that will be valuable, I think, to cover in courses on tourism and marketing in EUVET programs. So I would like to start first topic in, as I said, less conventional way by posing a very simple question. What do we mean today by the term when we say market-oriented company? And probably students would give straightforward answer to say that those are the organizations who implement the marketing concept in their operations. So this leads us to the next question. What marketing concept is and what are the characteristics of such companies? And even better question, can it be measured? So can we, for example, for instance, can a hotel group determine which of its business units, which of its hotel is more market-oriented than the other? And this was really hot topics in 1990s when there were few groups of researchers, scientists, who worked on the development of measuring instruments. They were trying to make some kind of measuring instrument, some kind of scale, which will be able to measure this concept, to measure market orientation. And one group of those scholars have introduced one scale, one measurement instrument they called Marcor. And this instrument was designed to evaluate the company's market orientation. And they said there are three important dimensions for a company to be market-oriented. So the first dimension they call marketing intelligence generation. So what this means? This means these dimensions basically relates to collecting of data, to gathering and understanding the information about the current and future customer needs, as well collecting data about other external factors that are affecting the market, such as the competitors, regulations, technological trends, legal issues, etc. And what basically this means is that market-oriented company must continuously collect data from their environment, data about the customer needs, about their desires, about the competitors, market trends, technology, legal environment. And in other words, companies must constantly engage in market research. But however, just collecting information is not enough. So this collected data must be shared among all employees within the company, among various departments. And this is the reason why this group of scholars decided to call this market orientation and not marketing orientation, because they wanted to highlight the importance of marketing to the whole company and not just the marketing department. And so this means basically that everyone in the company must think and act within the marketing mindset. And finally, the third and probably most important dimension is responsiveness to marketing intelligence. And this dimension is telling us that the information that we gathered, that we collected, must be used to make strategic and tactical marketing decisions. In marketing, when we say strategic decisions, we usually think about market segmentation, about selecting target markets, about the decisions, about the positioning, about how we will differentiate ourselves from the competitors, defining the marketing goals, and choosing the competitive strategy. And tactical decisions are more related to market elements of marketing mix, like characteristics of products or service, distribution methods, promotional approach, and pricing policies. And the reason why I made this introduction, because in the next slides, further, I will focus on the first and the third dimension. So I will talk mostly about marketing intelligence generation and how this marketing intelligence can be used in making decisions. So before we go further, let's just take a quick look at the structure of the tourism industry. So here you can see 5 segments or categories or key components of the tourism industry: accommodation services, transportation services, food and beverage services, recreation and entertainment, and travel agencies and tour operators. And as you can see, the largest category within the industry is accommodation services. So basically, I will mostly focus on this category further. And this category, as we can see, generates around 30 to 35% of the total revenue of the industry. It includes hotels, hostels, vacation rentals that provide lodging to travelers. So the second biggest category is transportation service category. And it includes all type of passenger transportation. And this category generates around 20 to 25% of the total revenues. The third largest revenue generating category is food and beverage services, which includes restaurants, coffees, bars, catering services, and it generates 20 to 25% of the total revenue. Recreation and entertainment category includes attractions such as theme parks, museums, cultural sites, and events that can enhance the travel experience. And this category generates around 50 to 20% of the total global revenue. And finally, we have the entities that organize and sell travel packages, tours, and related services, and they made about 5 to 10% of the total revenue. And now I would like to show you some statistics data about the global tourism industry so that we can try get some better insights of what's happening currently. So the global tourism industry has shown significant recovery and growth in the last and in this year. Industry almost reached pre-pandemic levels. As we can see from this data on the slide, the travel and tourism industry contributed 9.1% to global GDP in last year, which is an increase of 23% from 2022. The global revenue from international tourism reached $1.4 trillion in last year, which is nearing 93% of the 1.5 trillion recorded in pre-pandemic year 2019. Approximately 1.29 billion international travelers traveled globally in the last year, which is 88% recovery compared to pre-pandemic levels. And in this year, in the first 7 months of 2024, around 790 million tourists travel internationally, which is 11% more than in the same period last year and only 4% less than in pre-pandemic year. And if we look at export revenues from international tourism, which includes international tourism receipts plus passenger transport services provided to non-residents, it reached 1.8 trillion in the last year, which is virtually the same as before the pandemic. So the industry is expected to support nearly 348 million jobs in this year, which reflecting an increase of 13.6 million jobs compared to pre-pandemic level. So in general, when we look on this data, these statistics highlight the recovery and the growth of global tourism economy and underscores significant contribution to the global economy and employment. And data also shows that the global tourism industry has proven to be a resilient and adaptive sector. The trends, as we can see in revenues, in tourist arrivals and employment, they all indicate a promising outlook for this year and beyond. And as I said, given that accommodation services account for 30 to 35% of the revenues in the tourism industry, and considering that we have some time limits for this webinar, I will primarily focus on this segment in the following sections. So here, as we can see, one important question for us is, are the trends, and we can ask ourselves, what are the habits of the guests when it comes to booking accommodation? So which channels do they use the most for the booking? And has consumer behavior changed in recent years? And on the chart, you can see the structure of the hotel bookings across different channels. So like bookings made directly at the hotel, that's our walk-in bookings. Then we have bookings by telephone, by phone, bookings via email, bookings through the online travel agencies, and direct bookings through the hotel websites or mobile app. And as we can see, approximately 10% of total hotel reservations were made by the guests arriving without prior arrangements. Those are so-called walk-in bookings. Direct reservations made by phone calls accounted for 10% of the total bookings, and email bookings accounts for around 5% of the total bookings. And then we have these two big categories, and those are online travel agencies such as Booking.com, Expedia, Airbnb, and they facilitate around 40% of the hotel bookings. And this shows that OTAs have a really significant role in the hospitality industry at the moment. And the fifth category are the hotel websites, which means direct channels, hotel websites or mobile apps. And they accounted approximately 35% of the total reservations. So what we can conclude from this presented data, we can see that there has been a consistent rise in booking through the online travel agencies and the hotel websites. And why is that happening? Because the users are driven by very user-friendly platforms, by dynamic pricing and ability to check if accommodation is available in real time. We can also see that walk-in bookings have sharply declined because consumers now prefer to plan their trips in advance, and they have a lot of online tools that can make this easier for them. And the phone bookings are now mostly limited to older demographics or in cases when complex reservation is required. And currently, the biggest competition is happening between two channels. And those are, as we said, online travel agencies and hotels' websites. And lately, the hotels are heavily investing in their websites because they want to compete with online travel agencies. They're trying to offer price guarantees, they're offering loyalty rewards and personalized customer experience. So this trend indicates the intention of hotels to reduce their dependencies on online travel agencies because the commissions they pay are around 15 to 30% per booking. So these high commissions fees can impact the profitability of the hotel. And this is why many accommodation focus on increasing direct bookings to reduce these dependencies on OTAs. So next, on the left side, on the graph on the left side of the screen, you can see that in the past 7 years, the percentage of bookings that hotels achieve through the OTA has ranged between 35 and 42%. And on the chart on the right side, we can see who are the major players in OTA's market. So the biggest player is Booking Holdings, and it has a lot of brands like Booking.com, Priceline, Agoda, Kayak, OpenTable, rental cars, etc. And they had revenue approximately $21.4 billion in the last year. The second highest OTAs group is Expedia Group, and they have brands like Expedia, Hotels.com, Orbitz, Trivago, Travel City, etc. And they had revenue approximately $12.8 billion in the last year. The third place is Airbnb with his peer-to-peer model, and they had revenue around approximately $9.9 billion in 2023. And fourth place is Trip.com Group, and fifth is TripAdvisory. So what we can conclude is that in the global online travel agencies market, the Booking Holdings leads as the largest player, and they have really strong financial performance. They have a really diverse portfolio of brands, and they had a dominant position in direct accommodation bookings. And since I highlighted Booking Holdings as the leader in this market, I would like to mention one fresh event from the September of this year, which is related to this group. So what happened in September of this year? The Booking.com lost legal case. The Court of Justice of the European Union ruled against Booking.com a use of privacy party clauses in contracts with the hotel. So what was that clause in the contracts with the hotel? Booking.com policy required from hotels to offer accommodation prices that are lower or at least the same as those on the hotel websites. So the court determined that such clause could hinder competition and that it's not essential for Booking.com operation. So will this have any impact on the hotels and on their marketing strategies? I believe it will. And I highlighted here 3 things that I think that will happen because of this event. First thing, I believe that this will impact the pricing flexibility of hotels. So hotels now can offer lower rates or exclusive deals on their websites or some alternative platforms without all of the restrictions that they had before with the Booking.com. And second, I think that this situation will enhance profit margins. So by promoting direct bookings, hotel can reduce reliance on the online travel agencies, and they can avoid associated commission fees. So they can potentially increase their profitability. And the third thing, which is really, really important, is that I think that hotels will now improve customer relationship. Why? Because direct interactions with guests will allow them to provide personalized services, to build loyalty, and to collect valuable customer data. So what are the potential marketing strategies for the hotels, or what are the implications for the hospitality industry? Well, first, I think the company will need to invest in direct booking channels. So hotels will need to invest more money in hotel websites and in mobile apps to offer great experience to the user. They will also need to adapt to mobile-friendly platforms, and they will need to personalize offering. How? They can use a vast amount of data, huge amount of data, especially data from the digital analytics, to provide tailored offers and experiences that can drive higher engagement. And they can also offer exclusive incentives, providing some special discounts, loyalty programs, or added amenities for direct bookings. And what is really important is that companies utilize social media, email campaigns, search optimization, everything that can increase visibility and which can drive traffic to the hotel website. And of course, the last thing, they will still need to collaborate with online travel agencies. Despite of high commissions, I think that online travel agencies will still remain vital and for visibility and customer acquisition. So if you take everything I said before into consideration, we could conclude that there is some consumer behavior shift from traditional channels to online channels, like websites, hotel websites, or online travel agencies sites. So for the hotels, it will be crucial to invest money in those tools and to innovate and to adapt to be competitive. So consumers increasingly prefer channels where they can have a higher control over their bookings. They want personalized offerings, and they want flexibility. And now we came to the question how we can connect my introduction with these trends. How the market orientation we mentioned at the beginning can be improved. So how can companies in the tourism industry can improve their process of marketing intelligence gathering, which means how they can improve the market research process, and how those informations can help them to make better marketing decisions. We could see from the statistics that we have that shift from traditional to online, and with nearly 80% of reservation being made online. So basically, the online environment is the place where the majority of reservations and customer interactions take place. So we must ask ourselves whether and how we can improve that first dimension, how we can improve that generation of marketing intelligence through these trends and tools from the online environment. So next, I will try to explain in short how that can be done. So the internet enables improvements in this first dimension in market information collecting in several ways. First thing, we can use internet just as a communication channel for traditional methods. So we know that traditional methods are for collecting quantitative and qualitative data are surveys, focus group, and interviews. So we can use internet as a communication channel, which will give us some advantage, like we can use much bigger samples, we can be much more cost effective, we can efficiently analyze data and collect data much faster. So the second thing, we can collect secondary data. So how we can analyze, for example, platforms like TripAdvisor or Booking.com. We can analyze those reviews, and basically we can personalize, we can tailor offerings based on that information. And actually, we can even monitor competitors' pricing and make better decision about the pricing strategies. And third way is through the collection of digital analytics. And this part is really, really important. I couldn't highlight how this part is important for the tourist companies. Why? Well, the internet technologies, they enable us to track all events that are happening on websites or in mobile app. So basically, now the hotels and other companies have opportunity to collect huge amounts, big data. They can get huge amount of data about existing and potential customers who are visiting their website or their mobile app. And this data can help us in making strategic and tactical decisions. I will use one example, and I will mention one analytic tool that you probably hear and it's Google Analytics. It's a service provided by the Google company, and it enables companies to track behavior of online users on their website or mobile apps. So by collecting those records and by analyzing those records, now businesses can learn about their visitors. For example, they can know where they come from, which country, which region, which city. How did they arrive at the websites? Did they came directly by entering web address, or they used search engines, or they used some social network and came following some link? How long they are staying at the website? Whether they have completed some reservation or not, made some purchase, some inquiry, or some other action. And how Google Analytics is doing this? It collects two things known as metrics and dimensions. And what are the metrics? That's everything that we can count. So the metrics are quantified data, such as, for example, number of visits, page views, session duration. And dimensions, they are describing the data. For example, visitor's country, Bosnia, Croatia, Serbia, that is dimension. The type of device that user is using while visiting the website, or user gender, those are dimensions. So basically, such tools like Google Analytics, they combine metrics and dimensions, and they provide reports with really good insights that companies can use to make better decisions. And what's even better with the Google Analytics, it allows us to define something that we call custom dimensions, alongside the data that Google Analytics already connecting. So, for example, the custom dimension could be the number of beds in a room, or it could be the name of the service in the spa center. So this means that in addition to information about the visitors that Google Analytics already collects, we can also collect this additional information about the types of accommodation that they are mostly looking for. And we can use this information when we are creating a package for specific markets. So basically, we can use digital analytics for better market segmentation. We can use for personalization of the offer. We can use it for better trend predictions. We can improve customer experiences. We can use digital analytics for better targeting while we in advertising. And we can enhance tracking and evaluation of marketing campaigns. Also, one more very, very interesting technique is the sentiment analysis. So this analysis also is known like opinion mining technique. And it is basically the process which is combining three techniques. One is, which is very popular lately because of artificial intelligence, it's called natural language processing, NLP. Second one is the data analytics, and third one is machine learning. So together, we have sentiment analysis as a method. And the goal of this method is to identify whether the sentiment expressed in some text, for example, in Facebook post, is positive, negative, or neutral. So this method is very often used to analyze, for example, online reviews, social media posts, comments, or other forms of user-generated content. And there are different types of methods or variations of this method. I will show just a very short example of one very simple method, which is called dictionary-based method. So basically, this approach tried to imagine two dictionaries, one dictionary with positive terms and one dictionary with the negative terms. So positive terms could be clean, comfortable, friendly stuff, excellent location, beautiful, etc., etc. And negative terms could be dirty, uncomfortable, unfriendly stuff, bad location, ugly, unpleasant, etc. So what this analysis is doing, it analyzes how frequently these terms are showing in some Facebook posts, and based on that, it can determine is this communication from the user has a positive, neutral, or have a negative sentiment. For example, if we have some review that says the hotel was clean and comfortable and the staff was friendly and location was perfect for exploring the city, we have a multiple positive words, so sentiment will be scored as a positive. Or if we have a review that says the room was dirty, the staff was unfriendly and uninterested to help us, we have a multiple negative words. So this will be scored as a negative sentiment. And we have for example, can be review could say the location was good, but the room was average, nothing special. So we have some positive, we have some negative terms, and this kind of post would be scored as a neutral. So sentiment analysis is not just allow us to identify whether user sentiment is positive, negative, or neutral, but what's more important, it can uncover the reasons behind this sentiment. So this is achieved by analyzing the keywords and phrases users mostly use in their reviews, comments, and feedbacks. So if hotel guests frequently use positive words like clean, comfortable, it can indicate that hygiene and the comfort of the rooms contribute highly to the positive sentiment. Or if we see that words like dirty, unfriendly stuff, noisy, etc. are common in some negative reviews, it clearly highlights to the management of the company that some actions are required in this field. So let's now see, now that we shortly go through all this kind of how we can get the data, now let's see how we can use those information from different online sources. How can we use them to adapt our marketing strategy in hotel industry? So basically, we can improve market segmentation. We can do much better marketing segmentation. We can also personalize the offer. We can predict the trends, and we can adjust our offer based on those trends. We can also target much better when we talk about advertising campaigns. We can be much more efficient and effective. We can use, for example, digital analytics to measure key performance indicators, and those key performance indicators will tell us, do we achieve our defined marketing goals or not? We can also adjust prices in real time based on demand, on competitor pricing, or on customer behavior. And we can also provide instant customer services and improve satisfaction. And what companies should do, they should test different marketing messages, they should test different designs and everything, and we can use so-called A/B tests that are very, very useful in our online environment. So finally, I will conclude with some recommendation for the EUVET programs in the field of the tourism. I think there are a few really important topics that should be considered when we talk about the programs in this field. The first one is, as you could probably understand from my presentation, that digital marketing in tourism is really, really important. And it's basically essential for the modern tourism business, as most travelers now plan and book their trips online. So teaching students how to use specific tools like social media, how to use search engine optimization, how to use digital analytics can ensure and that they can help tomorrow when they start working, that they can help their businesses to attract and engage more tourists. The second topic is sustainable tourism. I didn't talk about it today because we have other lecture on that topic, and he will probably explain the importance of this theme. The third one is application of artificial intelligence and the importance of automation in tourism marketing. So artificial intelligence and automation can streamline marketing processes. It can improve personalization. It can enhance decision-making. So teaching students how to implement tools like, for example, chatbots, how to use predictive analytics, how to use dynamic pricing can ensure that they harness cutting-edge technology to improve the efficiency. And last topic I highlighted is personalization and customer experiences. So personalization is the key for meeting the expectation of modern travelers. So travelers today, they mostly value unique and tailored experiences. By learning how to use customer data for segmentation and for personalization, to personalize offerings, students will probably be able to help their future companies to build a much stronger customer loyalty. So finally, we came to the end of today's session. I hope I was in agreed time, and I would like to thank everyone for the attention. And now we have time for the question. Of course, besides of this session, if you will have any additional question that you would like to ask about this topic or more about digital marketing, which is special field of my interest, I'm willing to answer, and here you can find my email address for the contact. So thank you one more time.
Thank you, Professor Mahmutovie. So this was very insightful and interesting topic. So I believe there are some questions maybe from our participants. Maybe they are interested in finding out more about the topic. So if anyone has a question, maybe you can write it in the box or even ask freely if you would like to comment on something. We don't have any questions in the chat.
Okay.
So, yes, probably. Probably they will let you know, Professor, by the email. Yes, I've also put one link in the chat box for the evaluation form for this webinar. So I would like to ask you if you could fill it in. I can see someone said, could you send via email? Sure, but if you are able also to fill it in through the chat box, thank you. Okay, so Anna, maybe is there something that you would like to add as we are together in this webinar?
Yes, I'm sorry I'm not to introduce myself because I was in at a short time. I want to thank you for you and of course Professor for this amazing exposition. I'm not from the field. I was really interesting. For me, everything this is new. I have more knowledge about tourism, like in the brutal way, how I don't know how to say. And the things the professor said was really, really interesting. I don't know if I can share this presentation with some people. I think they will be really interesting, and I really want to thank you for your time and for this opportunity. I think everybody was really understand more about this topic. We will organize also a webinar in January. I want to invite the professor to assist. Will be the professor here, Dr. Américo Silva, and I think will be amazing sharing points about these kind of topics.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you, Anna. Yes, so we have some questions, people asking, please send the presentation of the professor. Yes, okay. Or every material will be available, even the recording, as we said, will also be available on the YouTube channel and also can be sent to all the participants via email. So this part will be solved. Elzbieta is taking care of that. Okay, so we don't have questions, but if someone still wants to comment on something else, or if not, then maybe Professor, would you like as well to say something more about this, or maybe we can end the webinar then?
Well, I just can thank you for the invitation and opportunity to participate in this webinar, and I will for sure be ready to help you and assist you in any further projects. I will prepare PDF presentation, PDF export of the presentation. I will send you. I'm looking at the moment, is there an option, because I haven't used, to be honest, Zoom for a while. So I'm looking, is there an option to attach the document, but I don't see it here. So I will send you by email, and you can then share with the other participants.
Okay, thank you, Professor. Yes, I mean, they will, I'm not sure for the Zoom how can it be sent, but we can send it by an email, so it's not a problem.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you all. This was very interesting. I believe also very useful for all of you who attended. And of course, this is just a part of the training, let's say, so there will be more webinars. And I believe that we will all, let's say, have some use of it. So thank you very much. Then we can perhaps end the meeting.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you.
Thank you. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.